The Trapper is one of the most underrated killers in Dead by Daylight by far. But is he really that bad, or is it just a stereotype because people don't like playing as him? Well, I'm doing a new series on this channel that is called Is the Killer Good or Not? And today's episode is The Trapper. Old Evan McMillan himself. Trapper's ability in this game is just to place down a bunch of bear traps. Your max bear traps are 2. And you can find a bunch of other ones around the map and collect them or place them down. Trapper's ability with bear traps is great for stopping people when there's pallets. Another thing you can do with the bear traps is place them right in front of where you just hooked someone, because there's a good chance that people will walk into them because they're dumb. See? Another great spot to place them is right in front of these pallets, or you can do it over here right in front of a window. When they step in the bear traps you just placed, you can easily knock them down. Just remember to replace the bear trap before you walk away. Now the trap I placed at the beginning of the game in front of the gate, the person has stepped in it, which gives me a lot of time to go over there and kill them. And now they stepped in front of another bear trap, which gives me another advantage. But these bear traps aren't always so reliable because the survivors can just undo them whenever they want. That's why it's better to be in an outdoor map more than indoor, because that'll hide your traps better. This character, he is a total beefcake. This guy is just like really big. So it feels kind of slow when you're actually using him, which I feel like is the number one reason on why people don't play him as much. But I honestly can't relate because I feel pretty fast playing this character. Another really annoying thing that survivors can do, they can crawl onto your traps so that when you're trying to get them, you'll walk into your own trap and it'll like stun you. I personally absolutely hate it when this happens because I have to like unplace my trap, grab them, hook them, and then I have to come over and place it back down. And while you're the trapper, I think it's the best idea if you respect the pallets, because you can place a trap on one side of the pallet, and then when people, they can't see it when they're on the other side. So if you're chasing them and they hop over the pallet, then it's kind of game over for them. But enough talking about his bear traps, let's look at his appearance. So this guy, Evan McMillan, he wears a hockey mask and has this weird machete thing as his weapon. I'm not the biggest fan because it kind of looks like he's just trying to be Jason Voorhees. And he wears this like weird jumpsuit thing, which does a lot remind me of Jason Voorhees. But other than being a complete copy of Jason, I honestly kind of like his outfit. But let's move on to the perks. Let's start off with Brutal Strength. If I'm being totally honest, this perk is honestly kind of average. It only lets you destroy drop pallets, break walls, and generators just a little bit faster. Now for Agitation. Agitation is only useful for the Trapper if you don't really have Iron Grasp, because it lets you move faster while transporting your bodies, which is, it's kind of meh because you can get Iron Grasp on the Trapper. Now last, but certainly the least, we have Unnerving Presence. Now this Unnerving Presence perk is honestly really bad, because it lets people within your terror radius to have a greater chance of triggering skill checks when repairing or healing, which if you're going against pros, practically useless. And even if you're going against noobs, again, useless, because everybody knows how to do those just fine, unless you're in a game with a really dumb person. Let's take a look at the Trapper's chase music. So the Trapper's chase music is literally just the default, which honestly kind of makes me mad. So now that we've heard that music, I just want to be really mad at myself and mad at behavior for making the Trapper's music the default. Come on, you can't do any better. Let's talk about this crazy anti-loop. So you put down a trap, and then you come around the corner here. You want to chase them all the way until you chase them into going into your trap like this. And then when you go over to them, you can finish them off and put them on a hook. Now let's look at the Trapper's creativity. Now this, if I was rating it from 1 to 10, I would probably give it a 1. Want to know why? Because this guy is so uncreative. You would not believe it. So, first of all, his ability, bear traps, pretty self-explanatory. All you do is place around bear traps and people walk into them, right? Pretty simple, I know. And for this guy's design, he's literally just a copy of Jason Voorhees. Just look at this. You cannot tell me that these two don't look similar. So now let's look at the Trapper's weapon. Now the Trapper's weapon is literally a brutal cleaver, but you have to admit it does kind of look like a machete at some points. For the final category, how fun these characters are. Now the Trapper has got to be in my top maybe 20 killers to play as, just because he is honestly really fun for me, especially when you place a bunch of traps around the map and then people just start walking in them over and over. It is so satisfying to hear and look at that. It's amazing. And especially when you knock someone and then there's a hook right there, it's so lucky. And just because his main perks are bad, like the Trapper perks, doesn't mean you can't use other perks that aren't like that bad. You can use like other stuff like All of Us Are Dead, or you can use like Huntress perks. It's honestly really cool to think about. But one last thing I forgot to add is this guy's cosmetics, because they are either really cool or hilarious. These cosmetics are awesome. Just look at all of these. My favorite is obviously Naughty Bear. He's like kind of scary but also cute in the same way. I'm not really sure why. And you can just look at this guy. Hit the Ice, that's one of my favorites. Macmillan Miner. I really like that one because the Macmillan part of Evan Macmillan, that's really cool. And then we have the greens down here. Beast of Nature, Blast Furnace, Cinder Slaughter, Scared Corruption, Rusty Tucker. Oh, Rusty Tucker. I really like that one. And yeah, so these are all the cosmetics for the Trapper. So I hope you enjoyed that. So guys, after that, we have come to a conclusion of the Trapper being a good character. Yup, I hope you enjoyed this video on the Trapper. I'm going to be making more parts of these series, so I hope you enjoy this one, because the next, who knows what it's going to be about. So, bye guys. See you in the next vid.